And I just looked at her and I felt instantly attracted. She was so cute and diligent and small. And in the elevator was going up and I was like, it was going down. I was like, I gotta talk to her. And I go out and then she goes out and I turn around and I go over and I'm like, hey, Mambo. I thought at that time Mambo was like a cool thing like Nyaje. Kenya is a great country if you have kidogo and pesa.
Oh yeah, that's true. Inakuwaje watu wangu wa nguvu, mimi naitwa presenter Ali wa entertainment PA. The A is always for amazing. Siku zote natia bidii kuhakikisha kwamba nakuletea stories tofauti, and of course right now I'm with Christopher Troy all the way kutoka Denmark. He's actually been in Kenya for a while. Amekuzunguka huku. He's actually even got a beautiful wife hapa nchini Kenya. We're going to talk to him tujue story yake ikoaje, you know, how he actually got to come to Kenya. How are you doing, Christopher?
I'm doing very good. Nyaje.
Poa sana.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah. Maybe you can introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, okay. So, well, I come from Denmark, and I've been traveling a lot, going many places throughout my life, always seeking, you know, the truth and God and so on. And when I was in India, I met this very special girl named Frida, and she introduced me to Africa. She was actually a Taita from Tanzania. Okay. And she had this small Bible book beside her bed, and I would read it. I was always fascinated by wisdom, and I was like, the incredible wisdom in this book, man. But there she was praying and stuff, and I started, you know, thinking maybe this is true, you know, maybe God is true. So of course I eventually, you know, curious, I went to Africa. I went to South Africa, and then I went to Kenya. And in Kenya I really fell in love with the place. Beautiful. I went to Nyahururu. If you live there, wonderful place. And I just started really loving every Sunday. I woke up to, you know, people singing Yesu Christu, you know, in Swahili. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. So that's how I came to Kenya, and then found out how Christian the nation was and how they keep their values and traditions, and yeah.
What are some of the beautiful or good things that you had about Kenya before coming to Kenya that made you, you know, just want to come to Kenya?
It's actually opposite, I have to be honest. So in my country, you know, people are like, you're going to Africa, you're gonna get, you know, killed, it's dangerous, watch out. You know, and I was actually going to Nigeria, but then I chose Kenya. And at this time I was talking to, you know, sweet little Mary. Mary, if you're listening, God bless you. But I was talking to Mary, and I actually had a dream 2 days before I went, where a beam of light came to me, a beam of light with like demonic hands, like the Dementors from Harry Potter. And it told me that if I went to Kenya I would die, this beam of light. And then I look over to God and he says, you probably should listen, but it's up to you. And this dream impacted me so much that I cancelled my flight tickets and so on, but then I ended up going anyway. And I'm still alive, 6 months in.
So you came to Kenya,
yeah.
And then I do understand from what you told me, you went back, then came again.
Yes. So I came to Kenya for like 4 months or something, where I met a beautiful girl named, I can't say her name, but she turned out, she was very beautiful, Kikuyu, but she turned out to be, you know, not so nice, or she was doing, you know, bad things at the time. And yeah, but I still discovered the country. I traveled a lot. I went to Mombasa and Nyahururu and different places, and I really got a sense of the culture and how the traditions are strong and how there are people still, you know, hold on, a woman is a woman, a man is a man. And it seems so simple and obvious, of course, Christopher, but that's not how it is where I come from. It's very different. Okay. So I really admired that.
Okay. Now tell us a little story about, you know, the first love that you got here in Kenya that you're saying it turned out not to be good. Yeah. Tell us, like, from the time you met to, you know, the time you guys, you know, of course, broke up.
Yeah, so in Denmark, you have to understand, or where in the West, it's very girls are different. Because, you know, life can be more difficult in Kenya economically, and so on. So the girls I dated in Denmark were nothing like here. So I came into Kenya kind of naive. I knew about, you know, robberies and trickery. I got robbed in India and so on. I kind of understood, like, people want to get my muscle, hustle me, scammers. I understood all of that. But women, you know, the old story of every king, you know, he can defeat all men, but one woman pulls him down. So I met this girl at a party, and she was in a purple dress, very beautiful. And, you know, I fell in love with her, and I stayed at her place for like 2-3 months, you know, all the time.
Did you ever, had you talked to your parents or your friends about you having a Kenyan girlfriend?
Yeah, I told my friends and my parents and everything about it. But later on, I found a beautiful girl named Mary. So yeah.
I do understand that you guys actually met in an elevator. I mean, that is crazy. What are even the chances of people meeting in an elevator and falling in love? Tell us about that love story.
Well, I was in an elevator in a hotel outside of Nairobi, and I think Mary was working there, and I'm in the elevator, and no, I get in the elevator, and she's standing there, and she was like doing this weird thing she does with her mouth. I don't know why. When she's shy, she goes like this. And I just looked at her and I felt instantly attracted. She was so cute and diligent and small. And in the elevator was going up and I was like, it was going down. I was like, I gotta talk to her. And I go out and then she goes out and I turn around and I go over and I'm like, hey, Mambo. I thought at that time Mambo was like a cool thing like Nyaje. Okay, yeah. So it's like Mambo. But I know now Mambo is like a polite way of saying hello, like women say hello, like Mambo, And I start talking, got her number. But many things unfolded from there. And I didn't really, everything was chaotic in my life at that time. And I went back to Denmark and I forgot about, Mary. We actually didn't meet, And one day I was praying in my bed and I realized that, Mary comes to my mind and I just start talking to her over the phone. Wow. And we started video calling for like 3 or 4 months. And then from there we meet. And then, we have our whole own story.
After before now, you guys got into like a very, I would say a serious relationship. Were you for a moment, like having second thoughts or being scared from your past experience of, dating a Kenyan?
Absolutely, 100%. I would say I have many good traits, but I also have bad traits. For example, I can be very paranoid. I have that from my father, And from traveling a lot, I'm having some crazy experiences. So I was paranoid. When I was talking to her over the phone, she seemed perfect, just like the girl I imagined, innocent, quiet. I like, a quiet girl. But then I met her and Mary loved me. She told me later that she just wanted to be really confident. So she put this confident shell on. She was like, hey, and talked to Buddha guys. And she was super confident. And I know con artists and people that do sales, because I do sales. And those type of people are very confident in like a superficial way. So I just, I got kind of paranoid. And we had like ups and downs for months before I actually got to know that she was the one that I met. Yeah, and there was a lot of crying and stuff involved. But that's all from my past experience. When you get betrayed, it's one of the worst things, getting betrayed, because you trust the person, you love them. I love this girl. My first Kenyan girlfriend and everything, wanted to take care of her, and I found out she's doing things behind my back, and the whole time she'd be looking me in the eyes, telling she loves me and so on, but she's doing the complete opposite. And that just makes you, the worst thing about it is the consequences. It makes you uneasy. Next time you see a person looking you in the eyes and love you, is there something behind it? The thoughts go on. And so that was a hard period for me and Mary of like a month or 2. But after that, everything has been perfect and really wonderful. Wow. She's a beautiful, beautiful woman, and
one thing you've actually mentioned about her is that she's actually shy, and that would be probably one of the reasons why we really don't have her here. And what are some of the things that you made you fall in love with Mary?
Well, Mary is so my best childhood friend and his name was Mikkel Møller, and we will always play our whole life together. And he was very quiet, but very smart. He understood my weird jokes. He had like an intuitive feeling. So we would have our own little bubble, our own little world of fun. And Mary's exactly like that. Wow. And Mary doesn't speak much, but she's very smart. She's very, very smart and wise. And I just love how she's quiet, and she's very small. And she sometimes says like, me, I don't know. She's so cute. So she's like hyper cute, so you can never get angry at her. And she's just really cute, and I don't even know to put words on it. I just feel like, I love her.
That's crazy. And
it's a feeling, kind of. Yeah. You can just feel it. It's right.
Okay. First girlfriend that you had taken her you had gone to her parents, yes, which you didn't actually know that it's a very big thing in the African culture. Have you taken her? Have you gone to see her parents yet?
My current girlfriend, yes, of course. I've seen her parents many times, and she has a really nice father and a mother and a great family. So I've been there like 20 times or something.
Wow.
Yeah, many times. So absolutely, but there's no culture. The culture and traditions are gone in the West, So there was in my country, like you go visit her parents, it's not really a big deal.
Yeah.
It's not seen as anything. You don't really do it, but if you do it, it's not really seen as anything. So she was like, let's go to Nyahururu, and I went there, and God bless her mother, she's wonderful, and we went there, had a nice time. But I had a dream that I was going into like some African village, and everybody became spiders and ate me. So dreams always give you warnings, if you're going through something, listen to your dreams. But I didn't know that meeting your parents in Kenya basically means that you're marrying, you're proposing. Sindio?
Yeah, it means like you are actually getting like fully committed to this person. It's not like just normal dating.
Yeah, you're interested in, becoming one with that woman. Yeah.
And now that you guys are together, I know life is good and everything, but tell us a little bit about the relationship. What do you guys like doing together?
Well, me and Mary, we play a lot of backgammon. I don't know if you know backgammon.
What is that?
It's like a board game. Okay. Some people probably know it's like chess. We play backgammon, and we go swimming a lot. So Mary has not, many Kenyans I found out don't know how to. It's called kuogelea. They don't know how to swim for some reason. So I've been teaching Mary to swim. So we're going to the pool like 2-3 times a week, eating chips, just enjoying life. So we like swimming, and we have a lot of fun together. But when her daughter's with, it's even more fun. Tiff, she's very funny, little sweet girl. So we also teaching her to swim, but she doesn't like the cold water. We'll try to put her in, she'll be screaming. So we go swimming, play backgammon, we just hang out and enjoy each other. We also like just watching a movie inside in the bed, us two cozy.
Now, the other day we started seeing your videos, going viral, popping on TikTok. I don't know, the algorithm favored you or something, or maybe you are what Kenyans wanted to watch. We saw many of your videos with your girlfriend, going viral. Is it something that maybe you premeditated? Is it something that maybe you did knowing that it was going to go viral, or was it a shock to you?
Well, I came here, to Kenya. So this was my general plan. I came to Kenya with the idea that I wanted to, do travel videos. And I've also done on my channel, there's some travel videos where I travel around, show stuff, become crazy famous, and then preach the word of Jesus Christ and fight the Antichrist. Because I've seen the Antichrist done evil things in my country. So that's kind of my plan. So I went here to blow up, And no, I went here, number one, to live because I want my children to grow up in a Christian society. And obviously not in a society where they do the things that they do to children. Even my friend, his name I can't maybe say, but he goes to a school where there's like 3 girls, changing genders already in the age of 11. And I don't want that influence on my children. So, and I want children now actually. Me and Mary are planning on having a child. Wow. So, but you asked?
I had asked about, did you premeditate? Did you know that you were going to go viral, or was it, did it come to you as a shock?
No, I did. It came to me as a shock, but I wanted to go do travel videos. But it was a shock when I made my first video explaining how equality is inverting the hierarchy of God, and it blew up. I was shocked.
Okay, I also want to understand, when videos go viral, what we see sometimes is there are always positive comments and negative comments. And I think one thing that you mentioned to me is like people trolled your girlfriend in a way.
Yeah, or they didn't troll her, but there's negative comments. But I think the rumors is that there's negative comments on every social media, but on TikTok they're the absolute worst. And I think a tendency is always interesting, because I believe that if you use TikTok, the algorithm plays on your sins like anger, jealousy, will make you really caught up. Oh, I'm so jealous of that girl or something. So if you use a lot of TikTok, and if you're using TikTok, even if you follow me, I would recommend you delete the app. The algorithm is there to make you look at stuff, not to make your life better. So I believe that, and there's many nasty comments, saying she's Kikuyu, she'll kill me and stuff like that. Oh, really? Yeah, and gold digger and stuff. But for me, we just joke with it. I make jokes about that, and it's funny. But There's always gonna, if you're gonna do something like that, we know another couple, Joe Jersey and Sly, and they have, they told us we have nasty comments also. So it's like everybody gets it.
Okay.
I don't care, but Mary does not use TikTok anymore because those comments are very hurtful.
Yeah. Personally, do you think they hurt you, or are you just okay with them?
I could get angry if it was a couple years ago, but Christ, he basically taught me to become emotionally untouchable because I just forgive. You see, if somebody robs your house, your stuff will be gone. That's one consequence. The other consequence is you'll be angry for like 10 days or maybe a year. You'll be angry. But if you forgive the person, emotion's gone. You're not angry. That's the genius of Jesus Christ. When you learn to forgive, Jesus Christ got humiliated, betrayed, stabbed, killed, and he had no emotional impact. His soul was completely fine. You see, so there'll always happen things in the material world, but if you can keep your emotions peaceful, then life would be less worse than it already would have been.
You had also mentioned to me that looking at the way people from Denmark live, they don't actually have something you'd say a culture, a tradition, and it has made many people over there, of course, not be spiritual, not be Christians, not have a religion, and you come from that place. What would you say is one of the things that made you stand out and just decide that you want to be you want to believe in something?
Well, if you ask my mother, she would say that I've always been very seeking, a seeker of truth, a philosopher. When I was a child, I would walk around in bare feet, crawl trees, eat bananas, and think about life. So I think I just had a natural, God made me in a way to go towards truth. But I grew up in a place where God was not even in the picture. Philosophy, I went into that and all kinds of stuff. I never thought about God. But, when I became like 21, I had a period where I suffered a lot. And I prayed one night in Mallorca, I remember. And I just felt this huge feeling throughout my body, like, whew, and that's the Holy Spirit I know now. But like, crazy feeling. And I was like, what the hell? And some time went on, and I come into it and out, and then I meet Frida, a Taita girl, stuck in India, and she had her own story, which is incredible, how she came to God, and God helped her, because India is not a nice place for black people. I don't know what to generalize, but there's a lot of racism, and I basically, in many ways, this is a long story actually, how I found God. You want me to go into all of it?
No, we can do it some other time, but maybe now that you are doing
include the God thing. Okay. So basically, I always seek truth, but what really took me to God was that I saw true evil in life, like something that's so evil. And by seeing something so deeply evil, I thought to myself, with everything in the universe, there's an equal and opposite. So something so evil exists, there exists something so good, and that's what I see as God.
Wow.
Yeah.
And did your family ever, feel a type of way or a different type of way by the fact that you come from this culture, or your friends probably, you come from this culture where people don't really believe a lot in God, maybe in the Bible or in Christianity? What was the reaction like?
To me believing in God? Well, that's funny actually. Well, my mother grew up like in a very, Christian school in Ireland. She's Irish, and they were always, my experience is people that grow up in places where they're very hard, you have to do this and this in God's name, they grow up hating it because they were forced on them. You shouldn't do that. But my mother was just like, yeah, Christopher, he's always changing new ideas. But my brother started thinking about it, and we discussed it a lot, and he's a very intelligent guy, he's studying to be a doctor. And by discussing, he started to believe and have faith in God himself. And my younger brother, which is Daniel, he's like 14 now, taller than me, very good looking guy. Okay. But he's also, he wears the Christian cross and, has faith. So, I also
influenced them in a way.
Yeah, God did. I prayed to God, that he touches their heart like he touches mine.
Wow.
Yeah.
And now that you're in Kenya, and I do recall you saying that the first thing that you actually wanted to do, was travel the world. Do you feel like you've come to a place where you just want to settle and, spread God's message, or do you still want to travel the whole world?
Well, I think I'll always have an itch for traveling. I really want to go to northern Namibia and visit the Himba tribe, because I have this theory that, there's the Garden of Eden where everything was perfect, and I think people that live in tribes, even though they don't have cars or anything, there's not one depressed person, not one person with anxiety, and I kind of believe that's the Garden of Eden. So I want to go visit that, but I want to settle down. I've had a lot of experiences, a lot of stuff I went through in life, seen a lot of evil, even done evil myself. I was filled with sins when I was younger, and the best thing when I was in Denmark, I was just praying. I just want a family, and that's so nice. Getting up in the morning, she makes me some breakfast, and my daughter Tiffany is there, and every morning I say habari, and she's like unzuri, because she's waking up all cute. So it just feels good in the heart. Wow. Yeah.
So do you think that maybe you're gonna settle here in Kenya, or both of you are gonna go to Denmark?
No, we'll settle here 100%. I do not want to live in Denmark. I want to visit my family and so on. And my brother, he told me that if things turn out to be as you predicted, Christopher, I'll come to Kenya also. Wow. Yeah, so I've had like 1,000 messages of girls saying, I want your brother. I can't do it like that. I'm sorry to disappoint. Yeah. But so I'll be living here, because you have, I know there's corruption and there's economic problems, but you have spirit and culture in Kenya. Wow. Which is, when you don't have that, you realize how bad it is. Sometimes you have to not have something to understand the worth of it. So in Kenya is a great country if you have kidogo and pesa.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. I also want to understand. You seem so enthusiastic about your spiritual side, and many people, when we see them as Africans, sometimes we are like, is he really that spiritual, or is he trying to sell us an agenda? Because we've seen people come and they're spiritual and they're telling us about how much they love God, and the next thing we know, they've opened a church, or they've started something that it looks somehow like a business. Yeah,
so many people are like, in Christ you have to be perfect. I even have comments like, why are you together with Mary when you're not married? And Jesus Christ said, let the first man without sin cast the first stone. So, and Jesus Christ didn't come to make people perfect. He came to take people from dead to alive, because he said, let the dead bury the dead. So I'm not perfect in any way. I'm filled with sins, probably more than the average person, to be honest. But I'm forgiven by them, so they don't become worse. And I'm constantly, the Holy Spirit guides me, and I just get help when I pray, and I feel alive. So even the worst type of people, let God deal with them, but they can be healed. I saw a guy, the stuff he did was so terrible, but he has gotten cleansed by the Holy Spirit and came to God, and he's completely changed. So God will change the most evil people to the best. So I'm just not to say I'm perfect in any way, nothing like that, but hell is a bottomless pit. I could be sitting here and being a nasty, evil, terrible salesperson. Absolutely terrible. But I'm much better, which is not perfect in any way. But you can't really compare nobody to anybody, because we're all different. You can't compare a flower to a tree, So, I'm not perfect. I have just been... Jesus Christ took me from dead to alive. Wow. And that's what he'll do to you. Yeah, that's what I want to say.
Amazing. What message do you have probably to Kenyans who are watching this video, and also finally to your beautiful girlfriend?
Well, if you're Kenyan watching this, remember that Jesus Christ was a carpenter. I know many people, they see Muzungus and they think, oh, we have nice cars and we have all this stuff. But, spirit, tradition and family, at the end of the day, if you're a Buddha driver or some normal guy, you come back and your wife is your wife. She's a woman and you love her. And you have children together. And the children are going to grow up loving Jesus Christ. And when they have problems, they don't go to a psychologist and, they pray. So, understand that you actually have some stuff that is very valuable, but it's not materialistic. It's not the things, of this world. It's not gold, it's not houses, maybe. There's a lot of struggle, and I met a lot of Kenyans, Uber drivers that are, super intelligent, engineers, psychologists, all kinds of educated people that can't get a job. So Kenyans are obviously intelligent and so on, but there's corruption. But I just want to say that you guys have something very valuable, but it's not of this world. And, it will often bring a lot of people to heaven. The people I meet in the village, for example, in Kenya, they are, in some sense very poor. But when I look in their eyes, I see true peace, that I only see in some few pastors. So they work hard, but they're happy, peaceful, and they're all going to heaven. So, yeah.
The message to your girlfriend?
My girlfriend, Mary, well, if you're watching on our grey sofa, that I don't like, because I don't like grey, but Mary loves grey. If you're watching it, Mary, Wemwega. Yeah.
That was amazing conversation we've been having with Christopher Troy. He is in Kenya, all the way from Denmark. Thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate, and I'm looking forward to having another conversation with you, because I do believe that there's a lot we can talk about.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for coming.
I would love to.
Yeah, we are actually going to invite him again. So if you'd really love to see Christopher Troy in another episode, make sure you comment down below and just say, please bring him back. My name is presenter Ali. Behind the camera we have Frank, the director. I'll see you guys in the next video.